In the heart of Kent, known as the Garden of England, lies a village with a reputation that reaches far beyond its quiet country lanes and historic timber-framed houses. This is Pluckley. It is a place where the veil between past and present seems unusually thin. The Guinness Book of World Records once named it the most haunted village in Britain. But this is not a story of Halloween theatrics. It is a tale woven from centuries of history, local lore, and chillingly consistent eyewitness accounts. The village doesn't just have one ghost, it reputedly has a dozen and perhaps more, each tied inextricably to the very fabric of the landscape. Pluckley's story begins long before its ghostly reputation took hold. The village is mentioned in the Domesday Book of 1086. Situated in the Weald of Kent, it was historically a hub for agriculture, iron smelting and farming. The Daring family were the local squires for hundreds of years, their influence shaping the village from the 15th century onwards. The family's dramatic history, filled with romance, tragedy and political intrigue, is a cornerstone of Pluckley's lore. The dense canopy of Deering Woods, locally known as the Screaming Woods, and the winding, high-banked lanes can feel claustrophobic and disorienting. From the medieval church to the Tudor-era inn, Pluckley is filled with buildings that have witnessed centuries of life and death. At the heart of the village stands the Church of St. Nicholas, a site of Christian worship for nearly 1,000 years. The most prominent is that of the Red Lady, believed to be a member of the Daring family. Her story is one of heartbreak. The churchyard itself is a place of profound atmosphere, home to ancient yew trees that predate the church itself. Visitors have reported seeing the faint, flickering light of a lantern moving among the weathered headstones thought to belong to the White Lady. Inside the church, the paranormal activity is more subtle but no less chilling. There are numerous accounts of strange tapping sounds. Some have heard faint, mournful organ music playing in the dead of night, while others report the sound of a dog whining near the altar. The Black Horse Inn is a classic English pub dating back to the 15th century. But according to local lore, some of its past patrons have never left. One of the most persistent tales involves the ghost of a cavalier. This spectral soldier sits at a table, a forlorn figure staring into the distance. Just a short distance from the village lies Daring Woods, known locally as the Screaming Woods, a place with a far more sinister reputation. The most common phenomenon is the sound of blood-curdling screams, men, women and children erupting from the depths of the woods. Visitors describe seeing shadowy figures moving between the trees, just at the edge of their peripheral vision. Many speak of a heavy, oppressive atmosphere, accompanied by the feeling of being followed or watched. One of the most famous apparitions is that of the phantom coach and horses. This spectral carriage thunders along Maltman's Hill and the Pinnock. Witnesses report seeing the headlights of an old-fashioned vehicle approaching, only for it to vanish into thin air as it gets closer. Another well-known figure is the highwayman, thought to be Robert Dubois, who haunts the area known as Fright Corner. Passers-by have reported seeing a shadowy figure engaged in a spectral sword fight before it disappears. The village schoolmaster, who took his own life in the 18th century, is seen as a sorrowful hanging apparition in Dicky Buss's Lane. Her ghost is seen as a misty, forlorn shape sitting on the small stone bridge where she often rested, forever wreathed in a phantom trail of smoke. These are not just old tales. People living in Pluckley today continue to report strange encounters. Another local saw a group of children in Victorian dress playing silently by the stream, who vanished when he called out to them. Pluckley's status as a paranormal hotspot is undeniable, whether one is a skeptic or a believer. Perhaps the answer lies in a convergence of factors: dramatic history, atmospheric landscape, and strong oral tradition. The village exists in a fascinating space between documented history and chilling folklore, between the tangible world and the spectral realm. It remains a place of profound mystery, a quiet English village where the echoes of history are not just remembered, they are still seen, heard, and felt.